Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, March 18th, 2015. Here in the Lynn-Body-Mind, it's me, Charles. In the Jamie Body-Mind, my friend Fernando is there, and we are here working to trigger the awakening for our large planet, which is known as Saskatch. And Earth is a tiny subatomic particle inside of Saskatch. So it's a long story about why we're working here, but we are here to trigger the awakening for our planet and for the greater good for all planets who are ready to awaken right now and to do what is ours to do in all dimensions right now, with that as the goal. So with that, it begins. I see that room that we were working with just a little while ago,
yes,
where
that's true.
all the planetary presences who are ready to awaken and ready to take action
Yes, that's true.
are gathering, working on what seems to be various ideas about sources of alternative forms of energy that are renewable and don't harm anything.
It's true. Truly sustainable.
Truly sustainable, and sustainable philosophically, ethically, morally, in all ways.
That's true.
And they seem to have come to the end of their work period.
Yes, it's true.
And they're talking, but it seems to be a coordinated conversation. It's like now they'll have a closing circle and they'll talk about what they learned.
Right, exactly.
Well, I'm interested to hear.
Yeah. So the tall bearded guy that Saskatch was working with earlier seems to be the speaker at the moment, and he's talking about how it's important while they're working on each of them building their own. He says everybody has their own part to build, and it's important while we're still building them to see how they work with others. Apparently there was a setback today of where two groups built their piece and completed it, quote unquote, and then put them together, and they just it didn't work. And he's saying that was time and effort that didn't need to be spent, that was wasted. So he says, be here with each other, pay attention to each other, everyone's in this together.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, it's a team effort.
This is fascinating to have this concept of an energy source that can include multiple planets simultaneously.
Yeah,
we must be talking about something like solar wind, or
that's what it seems to be.
Something bigger than anything I have considered before.
Yeah. Huge.
And even solar wind seems too small. It's more like
like using the gravitational spin of the universe, kind of. I don't know how else to say.
Or the galaxy.
Yeah.
That horizontal spinning thing that we keep seeing. It looks like a galaxy to me.
Yes.
And to work on harnessing the spin of the galaxy. This is actually fascinating because the galaxies are spinning at enormous speeds.
That's true.
And that is energy that could be harnessed. There's kinetic energy that could be harnessed. And for different planets to work together, it's like throwing a tennis net from planet to planet and catching the balls of energy in the net, so to speak.
Yes.
That is an amazing concept.
That seems to be what they're working with.
Something like that. Definitely go for it.
Yeah.
How may I be of service right now to trigger the awakening right now? Right. And so we see how challenging this is for our planet, for Saskatch.
That's true.
And I just want to emphasize that even though we're seeing them in this scenario as people, as humanoids, these are all planets in their own right.
Yes, that's true.
And we see our planet Saskatch, and he looks like a
24-year-old
a young man. A young man. And some of these planets look like more mature.
That's true.
Men
in their 50s.
And 40s. And late 30s.
That's true.
He's toward the young end.
definitely towards the young end. That's true.
The young men, by and large, are across the hall in the other room where they're just whining.
That's true.
And they aren't doing anything. They're just complaining. We were in their presence a couple of days ago and felt that energy,
Right,
and it
that's
didn't
true.
feel very good. It felt
No.
bad. This energy is much more proactive. These
Right,
people are doing
doing
something
something.
about the problem, not just whining.
That's true.
And they're working together, and this teamwork is what's challenging Saskatch pretty extremely. He just wants to be able to make his own energy source.
That's true.
And everyone is saying, basically, friend, it isn't going to work
Right.
very well. We've already tried that.
Right. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. That's why we're working together now. All of us
Right.
already tried what you want to try, and you can do it. We're not telling you not to, but it isn't going to work for you any better than it worked for all of us.
That's true.
And you can cut to the chase and just join us in this communal effort.
That's
and
true.
let's see what we can get done here.
That is true.
So, how may I be of service?
Service,
Working
right,
this oneness chakra can be
oneness
very
chakra.
helpful.
That's
And we
true.
can invite all these beings.
Ooh,
We can
there.
invite them all to join
Join
us.
us.
Ooh. This
There
will
we
help the
go.
cooperative
Effort.
juices flow.
That's
Yes, in the
true.
cooperative effort. That bearded guy seems
Yeah.
to agree that this is a good idea.
He's got a name like Garth.
He does have a name like Garth. He's got some kind of Scottish accent.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I wonder what that would represent.
Right.
So the Scottish accent
Yeah.
probably represents unconquerable will.
That's true. How may I be of service right now?
This
Ooh.
oneness chakra is huge.
Yeah, that's true.
And stirring a giant vortex.
That's true. Huge. Way
Huge,
bigger.
huge vortex. Stirring the vortex. My working theory is of the galaxy.
Yeah.
My working theory is we're working for our galaxy, and I was starting to say our sector of the galaxy.
It feels like the galaxy
Yeah,
as
I
a
can
whole,
see
right.
that where the planets are, and they're scattered about.
That's
there are a
true.
clump of them from our neighborhood,
Yeah, quote unquote.
but there are others elsewhere also.
That's true.
And when I floated the thought right now, well, why don't we just work with those in our immediate neighborhood? And someone is saying they already tried that also.
Right, that's
and
true.
that also doesn't work. First, they all tried individual planetary sources
Right.
of energy that are renewable and sustainable and philosophically proper.
That's true.
And that didn't work. And
No.
then they tried working as sectors, and that also didn't
That
work.
was a disaster.
And now they're trying to work on the galactic level.
That's true.
And those of these planets are ready to awaken, and there are many other planets who are not yet
That's
ready to
true.
awaken, and that's okay. They don't have to.
That's true.
And waiting for them won't work because many of us on short fuses, critical
Right,
timelines.
that's true.
Now is the time to get this in place, and so those people don't have to participate, and of course they will benefit from this information.
Right, that's true.
And that's totally fine. The karmic wheel still turns.
That's true.
We can't escape from our good karma any more than we can escape from our bad karma.
That's true.
No good action is ever wasted.
No. And there are people in this room like hooked up to respirators with IV drips. Like there are people in this room in critical condition.
Critical condition. And someone is pointing them out to
Yeah.
Saskatch and saying, they insisted on trying it the way that you're proposing.
Right.
And all they did was waste their valuable time to the
Right.
point that they're not really able to help the collaborative effort.
No.
And they're just hoping that we pull it together in time
In
to
time.
save them.
That's true.
And if not, they're another dead planet.
That's true.
And then there's a section of like grave markers.
Yeah, it's true.
There are our comrades who
Right,
have
remembered
fallen.
friends.
Right,
That's
remembered
true.
friends. Yes, it's like at a high school reunion, and here's the table with the picture of the dead people.
That's true.
Pictures of the dead
Pictures.
people.
That's true. And Garth is talking again. how to keep it running, the right mindset.
And the right heart set.
Right.
And that stinginess doesn't work at all. The only thing that
Right.
works is this collaborative attitude.
That's true.
And they've tried lots of different variations on the stinginess theme, and none
Right.
of them work.
No.
And to know that we have to be willing to push the project to the next person,
That's true.
and they are supposed to push it
Push
on to
it,
the next,
yeah.
and to the next, and to the next, and so on, and then to watch for it, and then yes, to push it again.
That's
It's kind of
true.
like a relay race working as a team, and it's a race against time
That's
for many
true.
of us, a race against time.
That's true.
All right. Stir it. Let's just stir the energy, creating that sense of community.
That's true.
Now making a huge vortex. Now what do I know? I know that length to width ratios matter more than anything else.
That's
And stirring
true.
this vortex, I see them doing it. And friends, it looks like you're just doing this horizontally. It looks like you're building a hurricane shape,
That's
not a
true.
tornado shape. And everything we know in all of our research, boom, shows that that is a really bad idea. So we strongly suggest that you stretch long. And this is
thin.
new information. So where
That's
did we
true.
learn this? We learned this from this experiment that Stan the scientist ran. Stan
true.
was a scientist on Saskatch,
That's
and he
true.
created an alternate reality, an actual physical dimension inside of Saskatch.
That's true.
And we learned a lot of things from that, including this. So,
That's true.
and here's all the data, solidly tested. And so this direction that you're heading in is a disaster of a direction,
That's
and
true.
possibly explains why you're having so many problems with mini-me thinking.
That's true.
So we suggest long, stretching tall, redeploying the energy, shrink in, and stretch tall for the community of all of us.
That's true.
Just start practicing it. And somebody says, what is the target? Well, we start with trying to get 10 to 1, 10 times taller than we are wide.
That's true.
And then we go to 100 to 1, and 1,000 to 1, and 10,000 to 1, and 100,000 to 1. And the
That's
goal
true.
actually continually moves.
That's
And it
true.
moves exponentially.
That's true.
First things first, 10 to 1. We have been told if we aren't 1,000 to 1, we're not hitting the working zone.
That's true. It's okay if you're not good at it right away.
We're not good at it
No.
either. This is new information to us.
That's
This
true.
came out of the microscopic experiment.
That's true.
But you see that they tested it thoroughly over eons.
That's true.
And we apply it in our own lives now, and we discover that there is validity to it.
That's true.
So we want to add this concept of targets, because this question of how long do we stretch has only been incompletely answered.
That's true.
If you look up and below, above and below, you'll see targets.
That's true.
And we are supposed to reach from one target to the other. It's from truth to truth, and
That's
current
true.
flows through us when we are actually touching the targets. It's
That's
like
true.
closing an electrical circuit. Current will flow through. And this is really tightening the spin of the galaxy. This is starting to make sense from the physics perspective,
That's
because
true.
think of ice skaters. When they want to increase
That's
their
true.
spin,
Smaller circles.
That's right.
Shrink in.
Shrink in,
That's
get
true.
taller, right? When
That's
they want
true.
to slow it down, they kick out a leg.
That's
Whew.
true.
And what we're trying to do is generate a lot of
of
energy, meaning fast spin, and
That's
therefore
true.
look for a tornado look, not a hurricane look. Get thin and long and spin really fast. And think about tornadoes and hurricanes. Tornadoes
true.
spin really fast. Hurricanes don't spin nearly as fast.
Oh, that's true.
Excellent.
It's true. And I see them making modifications to the machine.
Yes. Making it taller.
Taller.
Making it like a skyscraper.
Yeah.
That looks
Yeah,
better.
A lot better. And the whirring it was like a whoom, whoom, whoom. And now it's like a whoo, 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 whoo.
I see people sweating and looking
That's
tired. It is tiring. I
Oh,
agree.
boy.
It's tiring for us also.
That's true.
So probably we're done for now. Probably we should do a good solid closing
That's
process.
true.
So, friends, we this closing process is something that came out of the experiment in the alternate dimension as well.
That's true.
And we have been experimenting with it since this experiment folded up into our level,
Yeah,
and
that's
we
true.
have found good results with it. So we would invite you to follow along, join us in this process.
That is true.
We begin with correcting our errors and including the things that we left out, the omissions, and tuning the work as close to divine perfection as we're able to get. And then playing the grace that we've accumulated through our own efforts. We might think of it as good karma, to play it and ask for the blessings to come back right then to make the work better.
That's true.
And now I feel like the meeting has disbanded and we're kind of walking out into the hall and
That's
people
true.
are talking. I like this group of people.
Yeah. That's true.
Are they all planets, or are we the only angels here? They seem to all be
They seem to all be planets.
All right.
Okay.
Where are their angels? Where are your angels? Why don't you have your angels with you? This is strange.
It's like they don't understand
Yeah,
the
they
question.
don't understand the question. How? Well, we'll circle around to that. Maybe
That's true. I don't know.
when I started to say maybe they don't have angels, that didn't seem right.
No.
If their angels are just not very active,
That could be.
that could be.
That feels closer to true.
It feels closer to true. Well, that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
We learned that. Why don't you see if you can bring your angels with you next time? Just a couple,
That's
or at
true.
least one. One from every planet. See if
That's
you can
true.
bring some angels with you, and we can show the angels some things that they can do with their wings that also came out of that experiment
That's
of the
true.
alternate reality
That's true.
that we have found to be extremely helpful.
Oh, yeah.
And they might help this effort. So if you could, each of you, bring one or two angels with you, that would be fabulous.
That's true.
The bigger the better.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
All right.
See you next meeting. How often do you meet?
Right now it feels like
Every day, because there's people
Right.
are dying. It's
Right.
like time is of the essence.
That's true.
Okay. Got it.
Got it.
We'll be here tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.